Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the latest lyric video from the boys and the girl in Draconian, Moon over Sabaoth.
Sabaoth?
This is my Quebec accent, my French Quebec accent. La baguette with a little bit of Sabaoth. Oui, hein, with la bourre and le milk. I don't know how to say milk.
You know what?
How do you say milk in French?
I've taken so many years of French.
You don't know either.
I don't remember.
This should be like a staple. Like the first things you should learn when you go to French school is the cursing and milk.
Yeah.
Because like it comes in handy. Like, you go to Tim Hortons in there. So how you want your coffee? You can't say double.
Every year in
My God, my French accent is great.
Yeah, I know.
Like my English French accent.
Your stereotypical French accent is
great.
really good. Yeah.
I'm nailing it. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that in here when they teach you French, they teach you the same thing over and over. It's not like they give you anything new. Every year they just teach you the same thing over and over.
I remember, I only had 3 years of French in Portugal, and they were a disaster. The only things I remember from it is futur proche, which is one of the future tenses. And the only reason I like it was because broche means blowjob in Portuguese, and proche is very close to blowjobs. It's like the future blowjob. So every time, like, that was my favorite verb. Because I was like, oh, there's a blowjob in the future? Wow. Yeah, for a young kid.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, for a fat kid like me in high school, the thought of a blowjob in the future was really exciting. All right. Anyways, on that note, we're here to check out some Draconian. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
This is my new favorite song of the album so far.
I just pressed stop. Like I haven't even like gathered my thoughts here, and you were like off the bat, like right away, like before you say anything, my favorite song of the album so far. Okay, why? Now you have to back that up. Now you have to back that ass up.
The Sophia is like 2 now. That's been my favorite one throughout
this process.
Because you gotta trust the process, and
I know. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm so happy that like.
Okay, but you still haven't explained to me why.
Because I've always talked about how I love the harsh vocals so much. Probably one of my favorite harsh vocals in metal, like overall, and I'm just so happy that this song is like.
It's really like it's like a.
It's just shining a light. It's just shining a light.
It's a feast from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm so happy. Just the vocals were used as just a melody, like kind of just like a mist in the background, not in the forefront. I do like them in the forefront, obviously, for all the other songs, but this one you kind of had to just let him shine. That's my main reason why I love this song.
All right, so let me say this: I don't disagree with how good the song is. It's one of the best ones so far from all the singles. It's funny that the one that you rate so high up until now is the one that I like the least. It's kind of weird.
Really?
It's just we have different tastes. It's all. No, going back to this one. I was thinking to myself as I'm listening to this song, a couple of things were going through my mind. As you go through the first 2 parts of the song, like versus chorus, I'm like, Draconian's got to be the only band that can have a lyrical structure similar to the Ramones, and it doesn't sound repetitive. Because he's saying the same thing both times, but it doesn't sound repetitive. It sounds like he's saying something new every single time.
Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you say
the
same thing twice and sound like you're saying something completely different, and I'm not even bored one bit?
You know why though?
It's how do you do that?
It's because of that the riff in the verses.
Okay, so that takes me to the next point. To me, this song, I felt up until now
the heaviest one.
No, that's not what I was going to say. But I don't know if it's the heaviest one, but it's definitely the more methodic, the more drag out, old school doom track.
I was gonna say that too. It's a lot slower than the other tracks.
Definitely,
it
definitely
just feels like you're dragging your feet.
It feels like you're trying to walk through quicksand, and the more you try to move, the deeper you're getting.
It's like you're trying to run through snow, and the more you're running, the tired you are.
Why are you trying to outdo my
analogy? I'm trying to outdo you because this is.
My analogy was better. You're trying to run through quicksand. The more you move, in quicksand, the more you move, the deeper you go. That's better. All right. Now, let me say this. Since you mentioned the riff, let me go there next, because that's where I was going to go next. I felt that up until now, with all the singles, with every single single that they've released up to this point, most of them were dominated by the vocals. Either one style of vocals or the other style of vocal. Every song to me up until now from the singles, the vocals, regardless of which one it was, the vocals dominated the track and they guided me through the track. Yeah. Meaning they were the beacon. They were like in the forefront as the most important.
They were the thing walking you through the song.
But this one, no. This one, I felt the guitars were the main force of the song. And like you said earlier, the vocals was almost a mist behind it. This to me is the song that has the strongest, so far from the singles, the song that has the strongest guitar presence, where the guitars, with that slow, methodic, meaty riff, they're guiding where this song is going. And the vocals are almost there just to create atmosphere. You know what I mean? There's no song like this up until now from the singles that they've released. This one is unique from that perspective. And I really love that riff. Old school doom, like just dragging out. Love it. The other thing I was thinking is, how are they going to incorporate the 2 styles of vocals, the clean female vocals and the harsh male vocal? How are they going to incorporate? I thought, because he's already he's already with his voice creating this mist. Right? It's not really in the forefront. I mean, it's in the forefront because he's the only one singing. Yeah. But I still feel like the guitars are leading the way. You know what I mean? So how are you going to incorporate it? Because a song that has this kind of a meaty riff, like, what are you going to do here? The fact that they brought it in the chorus, and you have him as a mist, and she's a mist underneath the mist. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's 2 mists now. It's absolutely
like a ghost in the background.
But it was glorious because you could hear her, but not to the point where she was overshadowing everything that was happening.
Most of her
she was
lines were
really
just like,
a breeze.
Yeah.
She was a breeze.
She was just a melody in the song.
100%. Then the other thing that I was thinking is, after the first verse and chorus, second verse and chorus, you cannot go back to how you, because you had a pattern up until that point, right? Like, I was in my mind when the second chorus is going through, I'm like, what are they going to do after this? You can't go back to the verses again. I mean, you just put that on repeat already.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do it again. Then the song sounds, it's really going to sound like a Ramones Doom track where you're just putting just like the same thing on repeat. Like, what are they going to do here? I know they're not going to do a breakdown. Like, I know there's not going to be a breakdown.
Yeah.
I know they're not going to do the blah and then some meaty breakdown. You know what I mean? I know it's not going to get groovy. I know they're not going to throw me some disco. None of these things are going to happen. So I'm like, what are they going to do? In my mind, I'm thinking of all of this as I'm listening to the song because I'm processing the song as we're going along. What are they going to do here that they haven't done in the previous singles? What are they going to do? Like that spoken word with that fantastic atmospheric melody in the backdrop. I'm like, oh. I thought maybe a solo would have worked.
I was thinking more since the female
didn't have too much of a
godly
presence.
vocals weren't really in the song as much. I thought they were going to do what they do in a couple other songs, and that's bring her out for like a humming or one of those parts.
You just shot yourself in the foot. You just said that they did that in other songs. I mean, you don't want the album to start.
But that's what
repetitive.
I thought was going to happen.
Oh, I thought maybe a solo, but a solo. That it's not an over-the-top solo. You know what I thought? I thought they were going to do a solo that picks up the melody that the riff has. Oh. So imagine the melody of the riff, but now a little bit cleaner, right? Without the meatiness that it had. That would have worked.
That would work
perfectly.
Yeah.
That would have worked. That's what I thought they were going to do.
I thought they were just going to do. And it's not like me thinking that and wanting it. It's me thinking that because that's kind of what they're. That's what I know from them from the past, and
it's not out of left field.
Yeah, and putting two and two together since she wasn't in most of the song, I thought.
Yeah, give her a moment there.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to go with that kind of a solo that is not really a solo. It just brings the melody that the track has and it strips it down. It's not as meaty. That's what I thought they were going to do because it would work really well. It would pace down the song. It would make the song not heavy but even more methodic. It would have really worked well. But no, they went with that spoken word, with that clear atmosphere that it had, and then it came back again to the chorus. I was happy with it. I like that they went with that spoken word, calm, like really well done. So I like it. But I wouldn't have hated if it had gone with my other idea because I was like, that's kind of where I was going. And then when they hit me with this, I was like, this works too. I didn't think about it, but this works too. I'm glad they didn't go with the female vocals in that stretch.
Because they do it a lot.
They do it, not that they do it a lot. This is a song where the male vocals shine, where they take center stage, right? I think you need to keep that balance all the way through. You really need to. Otherwise, I don't know if you have other style of vocals, I don't know if it's going to work. It's going to break the song. This is a song that has the guitars in the forefront and his voice as the atmosphere that's pushing them through. You want to keep that consistency from beginning to end because you're already showing me that her voice is just a whisper that's coming in the chorus. So you really need to keep that way. But then how you include his voice at that point without sounding like the rest of the track. And they did it perfectly with that spoken word. Kind of perfectly in that spot. But my idea I don't think is that bad either.
No, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea as well. Alright guys, let us know what you think about this single. By the way, let us know so far from all the Draconian singles that they released, and these guys are releasing a lot of singles for this album. Which one is your favorite? How do you rank them? Which one do you like the most? How excited are you about this album? Tell us everything Draconian. Let's spend some quality time in the comment section talking about Draconian.
Yeah.
It's time well spent.
It is.
Say. Alright guys, come back tomorrow after you leave the comments. Come back tomorrow for more videos. See you guys.
See ya.